After yet another week, plus maybe 1 or 2 days in there, we as always have a ton of theme park news to go over. Loch Ness Monster, Mr. Six, and even some Disney news. We have a whole lot of theme park news. But that is not all. With T3 finally removed, we have to discuss what's next for Kentucky Kingdom. Well, we're going to discuss all this and more in this week's theme park news update. As always, let's dive in. Our first news story of the week is about Loch Ness Monster at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. So, if you didn't know, Busch Gardens, Williamsburg announced a major refurbishment coming to Loch Ness Monster. Loch Ness Monster is a custom aero looping coaster, known for its iconic yellow track and interlocking loops. And with how iconic this coaster truly was, they knew they needed to do something. So they decided to do a major refurbishment involving new trains, new track, and of course a fresh coat of paint. And as we get closer and closer to the busy summer months, Busch Gardens Williamsburg has finally announced the opening date for Loch Ness Monster. The official opening date for Loch Ness Monster will be May 10th. And if you are a Busch Gardens Williamsburg member, then you get the opportunity to ride this between May 2nd and May 5th. I haven't really covered this yet, but I really do feel like this refurbishment was very necessary and a very good move. And it'll really help preserve and keep this coaster around for many, many years to come, because it's truly an iconic one. So great job, Busch Gardens Williamsburg, and make sure to mark your calendar if you want to be one of the first people to ride Loch Ness Monster. For our next story, in a very unexpected move, Dorney Park is setting a very interesting height requirement for Iron Menace. So most B&M dive coasters have a height requirement of about 52, 54-ish inches. Pretty standard for a B&M dive coaster. But Dorney Park decided to go with a 48-inch height requirement for Iron Menace. Now maybe it's because of the vest restraints, but I highly doubt that given that other coaster with vest restraints, such as Banshee at Kings Island, has a 52-inch height requirement. I'm intrigued to see if B&M did secretly change something about these trains that allowed it to have a lower height requirement, but I really do like this move because when you lower the height requirement, and of course it's still safe and everything, you just get a wider variety and a wider range of audiences that can actually ride, which is great for everyone. So, interesting choice, Dorney Park, but I really like it. Sticking with the trend from the past couple weeks, we have more news regarding the Mr. Six teasers from Six Flags. And trust me, this one is definitely interesting. So first, Six Flags filed for a very, very unexpected trademark. They filed for, and I quote, Missy Six. Now this is something I don't think any of us actually saw happening. So first we have all the rumors that Mr. Six is returning, and now he might be getting replaced. Or, I don't know, maybe Missy Six is going to be like another mascot or something, maybe? But don't worry, it gets even more interesting from here. According to Screamscape.com, one of their readers apparently found some, paint on the wall in the Mr. Freeze queue at Six Flags Over Texas that read, Mr. Six Lives. And by the way, shout out to Screamscape, this is where I get pretty much all of this news, and they do a great job. So, go check them out. So, I would definitely keep an even bigger eye out for an announcement from Six Flags, because they gotta have something up their sleeves. There's no way all this is happening, and just nothing's going to happen. So, expect something pretty soon. And if you enjoyed the video so far and want to stay up to date on all the latest theme park news, then a sub to the channel would be fantastic. Next up, we have some even more crazy rumors about the Big Thunder Mountain project. So last week we discussed what was going on with Big Thunder Mountain, and we had some very, very, very interesting rumors. So this mysterious project was supposedly called Beyond Big Thunder Mountain. And we kind of speculated it was probably going to be like an expansion of the area, maybe another ride or two, a version of Big Thunder Mountain, plus a little bit of extra theming, but nothing too crazy. Pretty typical Disney stuff. So these new rumors suggest that we might see a new ride coming to this area. And maybe potentially like a car kind of racing ride. I guess similar to Radiator Springs Racers Yeah, I can tell you, I did not see that coming. Now yes, this is still definitely a rumor. We have zero confirmation whatsoever. That's just a potential fit. And it could be quite interesting if it's done right, and it actually comes to fruition. Now yes, would we have liked to see maybe another major coaster coming? Of course, we all want that, but this is not a bad move whatsoever. And if it does actually happen, I don't think anyone would really be complaining. Now this is probably still a pretty good ways into the future, but I guess just keep a lookout cause you never know. And I'll keep you updated if anything does actually end up happening. Or I hear any updated rumors about this project. Now with Cedar Point's opening of Top Thrill 2 right around the corner, Cedar Point has released their loose article policy, what you can wear and can't wear on the ride. So if you do all of this, you can ride Top Thrill 2. No loose articles in the queue, no wearing sunglasses on the ride, unless they have a strap, no loose fitting shoes, which probably means like flip-flops or maybe even Crocs. So Cedar Point's website does say that guests will have to pass through metal detection before entering the line, which makes me wonder if you're not allowed to even take your cell phone in the queue. Or maybe I'm interpreting this wrong, and they're just going to do what they did for Steel Vengeance, where you can have it for the majority of the queue, but then you have to take it out before you actually get on the ride. Now, I'm okay with the no cell phone policy because they can fly out and strike other riders if not properly secured, and it should probably be a standard on most thrill coasters anyway to not have your cell phone while you ride. But this coaster will pull massive wait times, especially this first year, so maybe not having your cell phone in line could mean that these waits feel like they're taking forever. And a quick note, the height requirement will be 52 inches. So I guess we'll see if they do a Steel Vengeance style policy for the phones, or if they make you get rid of pretty much every single loose article before you ride. But I guess right now we'll have to wait and see what really ends up happening. So stay tuned. And now it's time to talk about Kentucky Kingdom. So T3 has finally been removed. And from what other people have said about that ride, I don't think anyone's missing it. Now that does open up a piece of land, and with Kentucky Kingdom not having a ton of roller coasters, it really kind of opens up a gap in their lineup. Which means that Hershey and Kentucky Kingdom are probably planning a new coaster, maybe even as we speak. So I want to run through a few potential coaster types that would fit well at Kentucky Kingdom, and would be within Hershey and Kentucky Kingdom's budget. So something like a Zamperla launched coaster would be perfect. Like a 2-launch, 2,500 foot long, 130-ish foot tall launch coaster from Zamperla would be probably best case scenario. Now another coaster type I could see coming to Kentucky Kingdom would be a Vekoma family boomerang. I mean, they're going to be everywhere in like 10 years, so I would not be shocked whatsoever if Kentucky Kingdom goes for one of those. Now Kentucky Kingdom has ejector airtime pretty much everywhere, so they could go for more of floater airtime. Now something like a B&M Hyper would fit that perfectly, but this is Kentucky Kingdom. That's just not happening. But Kentucky Kingdom wants that Hyper, I will not complain. Now there's another option that Kentucky Kingdom could potentially take, and that might be a Vekoma family coaster. Like something like Big Bear Mountain would be great, but I don't think that's super likely. It's just a little too pricey. So at this point, I guess we'll just have to wait and see what Kentucky Kingdom decides to do next. And keep our fingers crossed, it's a brand new coaster. So that was mostly speculation based on what Kentucky Kingdom needs and what actually has a chance of happening. And we haven't gotten any real concrete rumors from Kentucky Kingdom yet. But we're bound to start getting rumors on what's next for Kentucky Kingdom. And whenever those rumors come, I will update you guys in a future theme park news update. So make sure you're subscribed to do not miss out on that. And in case you missed last week's theme park news update, check it out on your screen right now. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.